I'm back. Yes, before you guys come at me, I know my room is messy. Mind your business. Did you miss me? Because I missed you guys dearly. So without further ado, welcome back to my YouTube The Office, one of the most beloved TV shows of all time, and what many would consider the greatest TV comedy series of all time, especially for the youngins. I feel like if you're in your 30s and under, you have like an unhealthy love for The Office. And I was like that too, man. I still very much remember my Office binging phase. And you know what, man? I look back on those memories fondly. There's nothing more comforting than watching an episode and literally knowing every line of that episode. Nothing better than that. But you know what? Now that I'm a little bit older and wiser, I'm not as completely obsessed with the show as I used to be, which may be a shock for some of you watching, I know. I mean, I was like the Office boy of the family. Literally everything I got for Christmas was Office inspired. But after watching the whole series, like seasons 1 through 9, I don't know, I gotta guess like 20 times, you tend to want to watch some different shows. As a matter of fact, controversial opinion alert, I don't even think The Office is the best mockumentary style show. If I'm being honest, and this is something that I've thought even when I used to be like the biggest fan of the show. I gotta be honest with you guys, I think Parks and Rec is a better show. I said it. I do. I think it's just a better show. And I mean, I can go into why I believe that, but I mean, that's like a whole nother video in and of itself. Let's get back on schedule here. Hey guys, how you doing? Editing Ramdy here, and I'm gonna get a little Justin Bieber promoting Yummy on you guys real quick, because I would so appreciate it if you liked the video, maybe, and like subscribed, maybe, and like shared it with your friends, maybe, like, I don't know. Maybe? No, please do. I'm actually like begging you, please. Look at these numbers. Disgusting. So yeah, if you guys do that, I love you so much and I owe you the world. And if you don't do it, I hate you and you're a terrible person because you are actively fighting against my hopes and dreams. All right. Back to the video. I'm making this video because I've been seeing quite a bit of ads recently for this event that's gonna be going on called DunderCon. And I don't know if you guys have gotten these ads while you're like scrolling on social media, but of course, as an Office fan, it spiked my interest. So I visited the website and oh my God, this event is so weird. Right off the bat, they let you know that this is an unofficial event, which I know they have to do that for legal reasons so that NBC doesn't like sue them to hell. But did you guys have to make it so glaringly obvious? I mean, maybe you did, I don't know, but I would have made it a little bit more subtle, like those like bottom text thingies in like a medicine ad, or maybe like an asterisk and then putting unofficial somewhere, something like that. Like, I don't know, I just think it's funny how they like put it so big and like obvious and like red text, and it looks like it's like a bonus to the event or something. But you know what, I'm not gonna lie, this seems like a pretty fun event. They have some cool things. They have like a concert with Creed. They have an actual like Dundie award ceremony, which I don't really know how they're gonna give awards out because they don't know anybody who's coming, I don't know. And there's a whole bunch of other fun stuff. It honestly looks like it'd be a good time. But the events aren't really the thing that's like weird to me. It's the people that are coming to the event. Because they're making like a big deal out of the fact that there's 24 guests from the show that are coming to this event. What? Someone canceled? Oh, okay. 23 people from the show coming to this event. But I gotta tell you, man, looking at this list, they're kind of stretching it on who's considered like someone from the show. Let me show you what I mean. Let's go through this list again, shall we? You got your big timers, you know, the supporting cast. You got Kevin, you got Meredith, you got Creed, Stanley, Oscar, and you know what? Sure, even throw David Wallace in there, sure, why not? But besides that, Everyone else is kind of like, can you even say they're from The Office? It's almost like the iceberg model where the deeper you go, the more obscure the guests get. And some of these other guests, I can understand, you know? You got Pam's mom. She was in a good couple of episodes. You know, you got Senator Lipton, you know, he was kind of a bigger character in the later seasons, I guess. Bob Vance, you know, Phil's his husband, you know, he's kind of big, sure. One of the warehouse guys, I guess that's cool. And then the lists of guests start to dim. Like, let's see if you guys can guess who this is. Go ahead, I'll let you keep thinking. Yeah, it's Andy's high school girlfriend. You know, like from that one episode in season 3. I watched this episode over just to see how much of it she was in, and it was a whopping 26 seconds. Yes, 26 seconds, not even half a minute. Like at this point, you know, is it even worth it to count her as a guest? You know, I mean, by that logic, quite literally anybody who has had any sort of screen time on the show can be considered a guest. Conan could be a guest if he wanted to. Yeah, Conan O'Brien, remember when he was on screen for like 3 seconds? Sure, throw him in there, I guess he meets the criteria. Like, no offense to these actors, right? No offense. But why would anyone ever be interested in meeting Daryl's sister or Jim's brothers? Cool guy Paul. He has like one line.
I don't have time for this, guys. Just give them back their spaces.
Okay.
We good? Okay. Could have done this over email.
I'm not upset that these guys are guests. I'm not. Even though it may seem like I'm not. It's just like, why? Like, I'm not saying you can't count these people as guests, but I feel like it just would have been better if you just kept like the bigger guys that you got and just left it at that. Because when you sprinkle in all these other guys, it just makes it seem like you were just trying to fill up the roster with anyone you could find. And you know what? That's probably what they were trying to do. Quality, guys. Quality is always better than quantity, you know this. Because when you try to flip it the other way around, you end up with her as a featured guest. I'm sorry, DunderCon, I cannot get over the fact that she is like legitimately actually a guest. It almost feels like DunderCon is saying like, hey, you know, these guys have acted with the main cast, so meeting them is almost like you're meeting the main cast, right? Isn't that cool, guys? Right? Pam's mom. Don't like Pam's mom. That Pam's cousin. Or you know what? How about Kathy? You know, the character that everyone hated. Like, it's so funny scrolling through the autograph page knowing that like they're being serious. Like someone would actually be interested in Jamila Jackson's autograph. And Jamila, if you're watching, girl, I love you, but I mean, you know that's ridiculous, right? You know that's a little just a little dumb, right? I mean, come on, am I crazy here? Like, I love how they're offering you like a package deal to get an autograph or take a photo with the Halpert brothers, when the most important Halpert brother is like nowhere to be found. That's like going to a Jonas Brothers convention, and instead of the Jonas Brothers showing up, it's like their cousin or something. So they've been advertising this like mystery guest that's gonna show up, and you know, obviously I have no idea who it's gonna be, but I have my suspicions down to 2 people. First of all, we can throw all the big ones out. Steve Carell is not showing up to that. John Krasinski, no. Mindy Kaling, I feel like they've all kind of surpassed The Office. I guess you can kind of say the same for Ed Helms and like Ellie Kemper, Craig Robinson. Now I thought that BJ could be the one to show up maybe, but I forgot that he has a movie coming out, so I'm pretty sure this is like the last thing on his mind. And I don't think it'll be Jenna Fisher or Angela Kinsey, because while they do seem like they would be interested in coming to something like this, they're more or less sort of like a package deal. They have a podcast together, they wrote a book together. I mean, they even do appearances together. So I feel like it would be a both or none sort of deal with them. Like, I don't think that one of them would go and the other wouldn't, if that makes sense. And since they're only advertising one mystery guest, that kind of eliminates them. I think the only people who are worthy of like a mystery guest title that would actually come to this, it has to either be Paul Lieberstein, aka Toby, or the man, the myth, the legend, Rainn Wilson, aka Dwight Schrute. I may be right, I may be wrong, you know, there's no way to know. It's not like I'm going or anything. Oh wait, I am. And just like that, I was off to DunderCon. I had to wake up at like 5:30 in the morning to leave, which wasn't very fun, but I was excited for the day ahead. The parking lot is like super empty right now, but I think that's because the official event starts at 10 or 11, I think. I'm only here because I am gonna get a selfie with Mr. Creed Bratton himself. Yeah, let's go do that. I started walking to the event building and I was really shocked by how empty it was. I mean, these guys were the only other people that I saw, so I didn't know if I was super late or super early. I assumed that since my ticket with Creed showed an 8 a.m. time and the event started at 10 or 11, just depending on whether you were VIP or not, that the celebrities would do like all the photos first, and then when the event started, they would all just like hang out with us. I don't know. The doors to the lobby were open, so I just kind of like walked in and there wasn't anyone to direct me anywhere, so I just continued to walk into like the actual event space, and it was kind of empty in there. There was still some people setting up, but I didn't really know if I wasn't supposed to be there yet, because I mean, if I wasn't supposed to be there, surely someone would have stopped me by now. But after a while of just kind of awkwardly standing around, I got the idea that I wasn't supposed to be there and I left.
I feel like I'm not supposed to be here, but no one has came up to me yet or said anything, so I don't know what to do.
I didn't really know what was going on at this point. I was just kind of waiting outside as more and more people started showing up. And as I was listening to the other people around me, I started to figure out what the issue was. I won't really fault the event for this because it seems like more of an issue with the ticketing service that they used, but the photo ticket stubs aren't supposed to have times on them. I guess the times were just kind of added in by default for some reason, and they were completely random too. Some people were showing up at 9 a.m. for their photo time, some people at 10. But of course, I had to be the only one with 8 a.m. sharp as my photo time. At this point, I was kind of annoyed just at life because I could have had a few more extra hours of sleep had my time been set later, which I desperately needed. I think I was running off like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. And that's when I saw the poster that because of weather and flight stuff, Jack would be showing up late today and Leslie wouldn't even be able to make it today at all. He could only make Sunday. But the people in charge of the event were really cool about giving you a 2-day pass if you had photos or an autograph with Leslie, or just switching him altogether for someone else. So unfortunate, not really their fault. From here, I was pretty much just playing the waiting game. We formed 2 lines for general admission or VIP. And while we were waiting, we actually got to see some of the guests walk in, which was pretty cool. And some of the quote unquote lesser guys even stayed out to talk to us.
Hello, how's it going? See you guys inside?
And as we kept waiting, I started noticing just how many VIP people there were. I mean, I actually think there were more VIP people than general admission people, which is great, but me personally, I feel like there should have been some sort of cap to the VIP stuff just to make it feel more exclusive. I mean, there were some people who were actually mistaking us poor kids in general admission for VIP just because there were less of us. But after a while, the VIP started getting let in, and it was cool to see all the cosplay as people were walking by me. And finally, after waiting for literally hours, it was my turn to walk in, and immediately it felt more lively in there. I started walking around and it was really cool to see this like communal love for the office in person. There was a whole bunch of stuff. There was a lot of vendors, there were like some cutouts here and there. There were even show-worn outfits, and there was even a Dwight impersonator, which, fun fact, because I showed up so early, I actually saw him walk in and he took a hit of his vape while he was walking in, so it was cool to see how Dwight would look like with a nicotine addiction. Anyways, all the office celebs were in the back and they all had their own booths for photos and autographs. And the lines for the bigger guys were starting to grow like really rapidly, so I decided to do a quick little lap around the booth and just like see all these office characters in person. And then I got on the line for my photo with Creed. But it was kind of sad to see like the middle section where they just kind of threw in all the space fillers, because they got as much attention as I was expecting, which was very little. So as I get on this line for Creed, who do I have a perfect view of but little Miss Shira? But as I was watching her, I wasn't feeling resentment or anger. I was feeling regret. Regret for hating her so much. Regret for seeing her appearance as so worthless, because she actually seemed like a really nice person. As a matter of fact, I was kind of feeling that way with all of the lesser guests. I kind of forgot that they're just like normal people, and I kind of felt like a jerk for saying they don't deserve to be there. I guess you can say I had a change of heart that day. You know what? Sure. Let Shira have her booth. Why not? So this line for Creed was getting shorter and shorter, and I was getting really excited knowing that I'd be standing next to someone who I've been watching for literally years. Oh, and the media people for this event were going live on Instagram, so let me just see if I can sneak in the background there. There you go. Okay, the moment that I've been waiting for is here. There's Creed in the flesh, and I'm about to meet him. Here we go.
Hey man, how are you? How you doing?
Just kidding, guys, it's a joke. I'm joking. We actually had a really nice conversation, and I stupidly tried to shake his hand during COVID times, to which he politely offered me an elbow bump instead, but it was still very embarrassing. So Creed, if you're watching this, which I know you are, sorry for being so awkward. But you did make the right move, because I did get sick like 2 days later. So anyways, here's the picture, so that's cool. After I got my photo, I continued to walk around and I saw the paper airplane booth from that one episode, and I hadn't made a paper airplane since high school, but of course I had to try it out and see if I still had the same level of skill. And the answer was yes. I still had the same level of skill, which was 0. So I continued to walk around, and I don't know, something was just kind of like eating at me, you know? I felt like I was about to do the unthinkable. I was about to have a major character growth moment and buy a selfie photo with Miss Shira. Because she just looked so lonely, and I thought it'd be cool to interview her for the video. So I buy my photo with Shira. I open up the confirmation email, and I see that it's for Elizabeth the stripper, not Shira. What? Now, I don't know what happened there, because I promise you guys, I clicked on Shira's selfie thingy. But you know what? I like to think that it was God playing a cruel little joke on me for being so mean to her. So I'm sorry, Shira. You know, maybe one day our paths will cross, but that day shan't be today. So I got my picture with Elizabeth the Strips, and then I kind of got bored.
Okay, so sorry if you guys can't really hear me. It's really loud in here. But I just got my photo with Creed, which was pretty cool. We chatted for a little bit. It was pretty dope. And besides that, I've just kind of been walking. There's not really much to do here. You're just kind of walking around if you want to buy something from like vendors, but that's pretty much it. The games that were like advertised, nobody's really even playing them because no one's like manning them. So it's like, I feel like people feel like, can I play with this or not? That's what she said, sorry. But I mean, it's cool, I guess. I feel like the biggest thing is a lot of people are like starting to regret getting the VIP passes because they were super expensive. I'm just gonna kind of sit here in a corner and watch the trivia game. I'm really just waiting for the mystery guest at this point. And I feel like that's what most people are doing.
At this point, the trivia game was starting up, so I started watching that just to kind of give myself something to do. Now you might be asking yourself,
Watching? Randy, why don't you just play the trivia game? It's a game, right?
That's because I couldn't. No. The trivia game was for the gold VIP members only. Oh, and so was the seating. So if you weren't prepared to spend $500 on this event, your choices were either stand or sit on the hard, cold floor. And as someone with scoliosis and flat feet, I did not appreciate this. So after watching a few rounds of trivia, I kind of got bored and continued to walk again until their next event, which was the hot dog eating contest. Now I will admit, okay, I broke the law a little bit. Don't tell anybody. I did sneak into the VIP seating for this because my feet were actually committing murder. They were killing me. Anyways, the contest was actually pretty fun. They picked 7 people to compete, and this guy threw up 2 hot dogs in, so that was weird. But of course, my black folks at the end of the table were showing out and completely murdering everyone else in this competition. So that was a proud little black moment there. And in almost poetic fashion, who else wins but Florida Stanley? So that was a cool little, exciting rush, but now what? I think the biggest flaw with this event was that there wasn't really much to do. Like, besides getting your pictures and like your autographs and like the panels and stuff, it was kind of like boring. I mean, granted, I did go alone, so I admit I definitely probably would have had more fun if I went with someone else. But still, like 90% of the time I was just walking or standing, just kind of waiting for something to happen. And what really sucked is that I couldn't even like leave the event and then come back because I was general admission, and general admission didn't have re-entry. So I was literally stuck there just waiting for the mystery guest to come out, which at that point was the only thing keeping me there. I even started to feel kind of bad for these VIP members who spent minimum $250 for their packages, because I don't know, to me it just didn't feel that worth it. Because so far it was just kind of feeling like a glorified flea market. I mean, I should tell you guys, this is my first convention for like anything ever, so I don't know if glorified flea markets are just what conventions are, but I'm just letting you guys know my experience. So after painfully walking around some more, we got to our next event, which was the dance contest. Not gonna lie to you guys, was a little cringe. Just a little tiny bit. But it was still pretty fun, especially when they played Forever by Chris Brown, like the wedding episode. The Halbert Bros even came out and did their dances from the actual episode, which I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty cool. So the dance contest ends and that was fun, but I feel like at this point, people are starting to get a little restless and lines for things like concessions are definitely starting to grow. And I think the hosts of the event were kind of noticing this because they started up another like impromptu dance contest just to get people having fun again. Then after a while came the fan favorites panel, which is just code for not the main cast. I will admit it was a little weird seeing these people on a panel answering questions about the show when they were on it for so little, especially like Daryl's sister. Not Hide though. Hide's the GOAT. Hide is like actually a fan favorite, at least to me. As a matter of fact, Hide is such a GOAT, okay, that he left the panel during the middle of it to use the bathroom and just never came back. Like, I don't know if he just forgot that he was in the middle of a panel, but he literally just went back to his booth to take pictures with fans. Now was the costume contest. This one was actually pretty cool too, because there were a lot of creative cosplayers, especially the people that did like super deep cuts like these guys. Brian even came out to like confront one of the Kevin cosplayers, so that was a pretty fun moment.
Identity theft is a crime.
And now was the big moment, the main cast panel. I'm not gonna lie, I think I would have enjoyed this a lot more had I not been so tired and in pain, but it was still pretty cool to see the main cast together like that. For me, Oscar and Brian completely stole the show though. They had such like a brotherly chemistry. You could tell they were definitely the closest out of everyone else on the panel. And Oscar was definitely the funniest to me because it felt like he didn't really care about the panel, but not like in a bad or rude way, just because, you know, all these celebrities were really tired, and you know when you're like super tired, so your filter goes down. You don't really care about what you say anymore. He was funny in that way. Now I think that Kathy was thrown in last minute. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be Creed. I don't know why Creed wasn't there. I think he was like prepping for the concert. But to be honest, I didn't mind seeing her on the panel because she had kind of like a different experience from everyone else on stage. She was casted very late. She was also casted as a character that a lot of people did not like. So it was pretty interesting to hear her talk about that experience. Okay guys, let me level with you guys for a second. At this point, I have been at this event for no joke, no exaggeration, 10 hours. 10 hours of standing and very uncomfortable sitting. I was hanging on by a thread, okay? Just waiting for this mystery guest. And because I bought my ticket early, I had like a free voucher for a free photo or an autograph of this person. I didn't even want it, okay? I wasn't willing to wait on a line for it. I just wanted to know who this person was for my own curiosity. But here we are, you know, we've run through almost all the events and there has been no mention of this person. So at this point, I was just super tired and I started to get a little like frustrated.
I'm literally just chilling in the corner, and I feel like a 70-year-old man right now just because I've been standing and walking all day. So yeah, I'm ready to go, for being honest. The only reason I'm staying here is because I was promised a mystery guest, and damn it, I'm gonna stay until I get him or her.
I stood through the Dundie Awards. I stood through the In Memoriam, feet and back, absolutely killing, just hoping that they'd bring this mystery guest out at some point, or at least mention, like, say when you're gonna do it. I'm begging for scraps at this point. And as they announced that they're setting up for Creed's concert, that's when, finally, the moment I've been waiting for all day, that's when
I left. And listen, I really tried to stay. I really tried to stay, but they pretty much did everything, and they were like setting up for the concert, and then he was like, all right, so we're gonna do sound check and blah blah blah, and Creed should be up in about half an hour. And I can't wait that long. I can't. I was hanging on by a thread at that point. I mean, I've been here since 8 a.m. This is the first proper seat I've been in since 8 a.m. My body hurts. Maybe they'll show up today, like after the concert. I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen. I can't wait that long. I'm sorry. I'll just search it up tomorrow
and see who it was. I honestly couldn't care less. I'm gonna get Chick-fil-A and go home. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. I have been checking their website and their social media every single day after that event, trying to find something about this so-called mystery guest, and nothing. So long story short, they lied. And you know what? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure they had a mystery guest at some point and maybe something happened, but yeah, no mystery guests to be seen or heard of, which to me is kind of like unforgivable. I mean, it was the main selling point of your event that there was this like mystery guest that nobody knew anything about. And like, I understand things happened. Maybe they canceled, maybe they couldn't make it, family emergency, something, but like, announce that. The fact that they tried to like just ignore it and sweep it under the rug like it wasn't a thing, like, no, dude. Who was this mystery guest? Like, at this point, I just want to know who it was supposed to be. That's all I'm asking for at this point. See, like, I'm not upset that this guest didn't show up. That's not why I'm upset. I'm mostly just upset because I could have left so much earlier than I did. But no, I held out hope. I suffered for you guys for this video so that I could have the mystery guest in my video. And it was all for nothing. I just want to know what went wrong, because they were handing out these vouchers at the beginning. I actually think I still have it, hold on. They were giving these out the day of the event for a free photo or autograph of the mystery person. So it's like, at least the day of, they were expecting there to be a guest. Listen, I don't know what happened there. Maybe the mystery guest did show up and somehow I missed it. I highly doubt that. I mean, I thoroughly investigated. I went through all the DunderCon hashtags. I went through every single post about no mystery guests, anything. So I don't know, but if I think about it any longer, I'm going to suffer from a brain aneurysm. So let's move on.
Hey guys, Editing Ramdy here again, your favorite Ramdy. So here's the deal, guys. I was doing a little bit more research on this so-called mystery guest because I really just wanted to make sure 100% that there was no mystery guest before I falsely accused this event for lying to me. So I hop on Reddit because that is the place you go for answers. So on the Reddit, some people were actually saying that Devin was the mystery guest. You know, Devin, the guy that got fired in season 1 and then came back in season 9 for like a few seconds. Yeah, that Devin, that he was the mystery guest. This so-called mystery guest in all caps that they haven't said a peep about every day leading up to the event, that they've been just building this hype about. Devin is the mystery guest. This would make sense because Devin was never announced as a guest and he was there, but I thought he was just kind of like a late addition because surely they wouldn't make Devin this mystery guest. Here I was thinking about Paul Lieberstein, Rainn Wilson, and I got Devin. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to refuse that this is true because I would rather believe that they didn't give us a mystery guest than that Devin was our mystery guest. I refuse to believe that. I'm just going to deny that idea and just move on. So yeah, back to the video.
Look, I don't want to bash this event too hard because at the end of the day, this is the first one, and I think it's like the biggest Office event since like the show's ending. So I'm sure this was very hard to put together. And you know what? There were some really fun parts, but man, there were some bad ones too. So I would say advice for next time. Please add some seating for the peasants who cannot afford a $500 gold VIP pass. Please do that. That is my biggest complaint, because nearly 10 hours of standing will make you a grumpy goose. Also, I would say try to add more events for next time. They don't have to be big things, you know, they don't have to be like main cast panel big, but you know, little small things here and there just to fill in the gaps of time between all the bigger stuff so it doesn't feel like we're waiting for quite as long. And you know what, all things considered, if there is one next year, which I hope there is, I probably would go again. Granted, with somebody and for a lot less time, but I would go again. So it may seem like I thought this event was dumb or poorly planned. I didn't. I'm just telling you guys where you can improve. But overall, I'm rooting for you guys at DunderCon, and I hope there's another one. But please add more seats.